everyone and welcome to the Formula E Pit Lane Preview Show. My name is Darren Adetosio.
I'm Saunders CB.
And welcome to beautiful and glamorous Monaco for round 9 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Saunders, I'm going to be bold and say this is my favourite race on the calendar. Not just one of them, but my favourite.
Oh, big claim,
So
big claim.
good.
But I understand how I've got there because this is an absolutely epic place to go racing. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. In terms of world-renowned street circuits, there is really only one in the world that everyone would consider there, and it's here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get racing here again.
I can't wait. And I think this circuit was honestly built for Formula E cars. The overtakes we've seen here, the action, the drama, it's going to be amazing this weekend.
You couldn't have said it better. Like, we see action and overtaking and drama, like you said here, like no other championship does. We're talking about overtakes in places that haven't seen overtakes in years, if ever. You know, it's bold, but that's how the racing works. You can get close, you can make the positions up. And also, it's been the case across all generations of Formula E, 1 to 3, where we are now. We haven't seen that car on this circuit yet, but it was born to race on a circuit like Monaco. So it's going to be interesting to see what the drivers can get out of it.
Oh, bring it on. Well, coming up on the show, we put your fan questions to Porsche's Antonio Felix da Costa.
I imagine you had a little look around the city?
Of course, got to be done.
Okay.
And we caught up with Maserati MSG Racing's teammates Edo Mortara and Maximilian Günther.
And finally, but by no means least, it was STOFFEL VANDOORNE that got the win here last season, and we sent Alexa to chat to him and see how he's preparing for this race.
Let's hear what he had to say.
I'm in STOFFEL VANDOORNE. I'd normally say welcome back to Monaco, but home race for you. How nice is it to get to spend a race week in your own bed?
Yeah, it's quite particular, but it's a strange feeling at the same time, because normally at the races I always sleep in a hotel, and you kind of wake up and just get ready and go. Whilst you're staying at home, it feels a little bit more comfortable, let's say. So you wake up, you always have your normal routines that you do, making
good coffee,
or whatever. So it's it's maybe sometimes even harder to get yourself in the right mindset, but I've enjoyed it, and I've had last year I stayed in my own bed as well, and it worked out
alright. Well. Well, speaking of, last year you took the win. You must have some really happy memories from that day.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the highlights for me last year here. Obviously, Monaco is one of those races. Everyone just wants to win this race, so it's a great event. A lot of expectations around here as well, and it's an iconic track as well. So I'm glad to be back here, and hopefully we can repeat what we did last year.
Well, through your junior career, your time in F1, time in Formula E, is this a circuit that's always treated you well?
It's been good and bad, let's say. Like the first couple of times I came here, I didn't have that much luck, but I was always fast here. So the signs were there, and then I won here in GP2 actually in 2015. So yeah, that was a good time as well. And then obviously the victory last year. So I think hopefully we can continue that streak.
And you were a season of consistency last year, always at finishing towards the top of the points. But what was it about Monaco that you think you just had the edge here?
Well, I think we understood how to read the race last year. It was a little bit of an energy-sensitive race as well, and overtaking was possible here, unlike some other categories where it's usually very hard to overtake around here. So yeah, we kind of settled in at the start of the race. We built our energy, and then we kind of attacked when we had to attack. I expect this year will be actually quite similar, because especially with the Gen 3 as it is right now, it's very difficult to go and lead the race early on and then maintaining your position towards the end. So I think the opening half of the race will be quite interesting again, with a lot of strategy to try and build energy to then try and come on top at the end.
Well, you mentioned just then it's quite difficult to lead the race around here. You qualified P4 last year. Is that a good spot to be in on this grid?
I think it could be a good spot. Obviously, I'm always going to be aiming to get pole position.
Of course.
But I think as long as you start in the top 5 here, you're in a really good place to fight for the victory.
You had some great fights with Mitch Evans here last year. Looking forward to more of the same this season?
I hope so. I think if we can fight it out with Mitch, we'll probably be fighting it out for the top positions. Mitch has been very strong this year. Jaguar looking very strong this season. So I feel like they're the guys to beat, and I hope we can fight it out. Mitch has come close to winning here a couple of times, and hopefully we can fight it out again this year.
And a season of ups and downs for you and your team. What are your hopes and expectations for this weekend?
I hope just a kind of clean weekend again. Our qualifying has improved massively since the start of the year, and we know that in dry conditions we can be up there and probably qualify in the top 5, which will be the first target. And then I feel like the next target is to have a good race. We've not had a great race yet this year, let's say. We're a little bit down on energy sometimes, and hopefully this weekend is a good one to turn it around.
Best of luck, Stoffel.
Thank you.
Awesome to hear from Stoffel.
Now, from one race winner in Monaco to another, Antonio Felix da Costa, who got the win here a few seasons before, another momentous, epic, dramatic Formula E race.
All the adjectives.
All the adjectives, yeah, exactly. He took some time outside of his race preparation to answer your fan questions. Here's what he had to say.
See you later, good to see you, bye, cheers. Merci, merci beaucoup. Sorry guys, okay, let's go. I think that's an obvious yes. The thing is, the last time I did that, when I was track walking and I looked at the swimming pool and the jumping platform, I said, if I win 2 days before, I'll jump from there. And as I was climbing up, I wanted to, I'm gonna do a backflip now. But I chickened out. When I got up there, it was really, really high, and I just jumped normally. But I say it now here for you guys, if I win, I'll do a backflip. I won't do a backflip. Oh, that's a tricky one. I think obviously the win here in Monaco, winning the championship in Berlin, and probably now my win in Cape Town. Those are 3 epic moments, obviously, but a lot of great moments that are not wins or victories or podiums or whatever. Some races that we start from the back and we overtake 10, 15 guys to maybe score a point. I know those races don't come across as special moments for you guys, but for us they have a lot of meaning, and I've had a few of them, unfortunately, I guess. %100%, but in a good way. I really think in a good way. In the WEC car, for example, it's very easy for me now to save fuel, to still achieve good lap times and save fuel, because that's all we do here. Obviously here we're saving energy, but the driving technique we learn in Formula E to apply in any road car, it's very, very efficient. And then coming here, WEC and endurance racing just made me even more aware of taking care of my car. It needs to last, and measuring my risks, when to attack, when to be safe. So I would say both championships make me a more complete driver. So the Gen 3 car is probably the most difficult car to drive. I would say because it's lighter, it's got more power, but at the moment we don't have the grip that we have in Gen 2, for example. So obviously that makes it a lot more tricky for us. But it makes it a lot more fun for you guys. Have to say hello. C'est qui le patron?
C'est toi le patron.
Non, c'est toi. Is he far enough? I'm kidding. I love Jeff. I would probably choose Mitch Evans, would probably choose him. Yeah, I get on super well with Mitch. We actually have a business together outside of racing. Probably choose Mitch, yeah. That's a very good question, actually. Norman, 100% Norman. And he would not be the singer for sure. I think he could play, every time we go out, Norman goes, he finds something to clap on and hit, and so he understands sound. So Norman for sure. I would not be the lead singer, but I would play the guitar, or I'll play the drums. Mitch on the guitar, and then we need a pretty face to be the lead singer. Pretty face, be the lead singer. It's a difficult one, huh? We take Stoff. Stoff as the lead. I think he's got good vocal cords. Well, if I get the chance to go home, I would, which, yeah, it's not always the case, but surfing, #1 for me. Getting into the gym, I love getting into the gym and getting away from my problems and my thoughts and all that. Golfing a little bit, but yeah, just seeing friends, families, loads of surfing and working out. Very good question. Lisbon for me would have to be the preferred one. I live just 10 minutes away from Lisbon, actually in a beautiful place called Cascais, born and raised. But I think Lisbon being the capital would be amazing. Or up north in Porto, there's a big racing heritage there, so it would be super nice also.
Thank you very much to Antonio for answering your fan questions, and thank you to you for sending those questions in. We'll be back with another one in Jakarta.
We will indeed. They just get better and better each time, don't they? A bit like my city guides, if I do say so myself. This time, not because of me, but because I was joined by a very special guest for this one.
I guess we should take a look.
Yeah, let's do it. This is Monaco Discovered, brought to you by Saudia. We are back in Monaco, which is hands down one of my favourite locations on our calendar. It's a location renowned for its rich racing history, along with being one of the most glamorous and luxurious places in the world. This is Monaco Discovered, brought to you by Saudia. Now, a lot of Monaco is probably familiar to anyone who loves their racing, but perhaps the most iconic spot is here in Casino Square. Here you can find the famous Casino di Monte Carlo, the Opera House, Hotel de Paris, and it's also an amazing spot to come and do some luxury shopping or simply relax in the beautiful restored gardens. But come this weekend, it will be Formula E taking over the streets of Monaco, with the cars literally racing right here. And if you're looking to find your zen, then this is definitely the place to come. The Japanese Gardens covers 7,000 square meters and features a mixture of Japanese and Mediterranean plants, as well as the beautiful waterfalls, koi carp ponds and bridges. There is also a traditional Japanese tea house, which I would definitely recommend coming to. So it really is a beautiful place to come and unwind. Overlooking the sea in the old town of La Roche is the world's oldest aquarium. Opened by Prince Albert I in 1910, the Museum of Oceanography has over 6,000 specimens of sea life across 100 different pools. There's several different aquariums showcasing different ecosystems, as well as incredible exhibitions if you want to learn more about the history of oceanography. There's even a turtle rehabilitation centre, which is the cutest thing ever. So if you want to learn more about the oceans and how we can protect them, then this is the place to come. And not far from the Museum of Oceanography is the St. Martin Gardens, where I've happened to bump into our world champion and Saudia Global Ambassador STOFFEL VANDOORNE. Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, great to be here.
And so tell me, what is life like living in Monaco? I've been here for, I think, a day now, and I can say I'm very jealous.
Yeah, it's a great location, to be honest. I mean, first of all, the weather's always great. And then for me, it's really a place where I love to come back to after the races, because it's super quiet. It really helps me to relax and to kind of switch my mind off racing. And then for training, it's perfect as well.
And now, Stoffel, because you live here, I trust you to be a bit of a tour guide for me for today. So why don't we take a look and explore some of the locations a bit more familiar to racing fans.
Let's go.
Right, so who's this?
Yeah, he's a bit of a Formula One legend, Juan Manuel Fangio. He won 5 World Championships in Formula One.
Love it.
And he won Monaco twice as well, so yeah, pretty good achievement.
So in theory then, considering he has a statue because he's a world champion, you've got that, tick. He's won here in Monaco before, tick. So in theory, this could be you in the future.
Where's mine, right?
Well, if you were given a statue, what would your pose be?
Not exactly sure about the pose, but maybe something like this.
Something like that, okay. Bucket hat on or bucket hat off?
I think we could do the bucket hat, yeah. Signature move. So we're here at Saint-Devote, which is actually named after a little church that is here, and it's also turn 1 of the racetrack. So yeah, first corner, always important. And today still a lot of traffic actually going around. And then they're going to close down the streets on Saturday.
Well, that looked like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, Saunders, I had the best time. I just love it here in Monaco. It's the glitz and the glam. I feel like it's right up my street. And then to be joined by Stoff, who's of course a local, was just such an amazing experience.
Of course, of course. Well, you know who else are locals? Maserati MSG Racing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maserati are an Italian manufacturer. Yes, they are. Rome will be their home race, but MSG Racing are a Monegasque race team, so it's also a home race for them. I've got some facts.
Okay, here we go. Saunders fun facts.
Are you ready? Because these are really good ones.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the last time that Maserati as a team raced here in Monaco was in 1957. Do you know what happened?
What happened?
They won the race. They got pole position. They got fastest lap, driven by none other than motorsport icon Juan Manuel Fangio.
I love it.
It gets better.
Oh, keep
There's
it coming.
more. Because the last time that a Maserati manufacturer, powertrain provider, whatever, raced in any single-seater championship before Formula E was also here in 1969. So what we have is history being made once again this weekend.
Oh, I love it. Saunders, I feel like this should be a whole segment, Saunders Fun Facts. That was brilliant. Well, I guess the pressure is now on for Maserati drivers to continue that streak this weekend. How are they feeling ahead of it all?
Let's find out. Here's what they had to say.
So Max, looking back a little bit at what happened like last race weekend in Berlin, I think that it was a crazy 2 races. You managed to get a podium. I think that was great, for the team. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think for the whole momentum of the team, it's really good, really important. Obviously, was great to be on the podium in Berlin in front of the German crowd for me. At the end, we both managed to score points for the team. Was I think, good weekend, and I think momentum is always important for us in racing. So happy for the whole team. So yeah, it's the home race of the team here in Monaco. What is your view on it? How is your experience around Monaco?
Well, Monaco is obviously always very special for us, as our headquarters are based like in Monaco. So we always have a lot of friends, sponsors, marketing events to do. So clearly there's a little bit of added pressure, but the weekend is so nice that I'll take that and enjoy it. And what's your view on this race weekend?
Well, pretty much similar what you said. It's very special to have the team base in Monaco. So if the simulator is so close, it's pretty smooth for the preparation, for the traveling. So that's good, and yeah, all the people coming to support us. But yeah, already the weekend is so special. It's just, I think, nice to have this little extra as a team's home race.
So we've been racing here like both actually now for several years. What do you think is challenging on this track, and how would you rate actually this track?
Well, to be fair, it's actually one of my favorite tracks. On the one hand, for sure, what we mentioned about the whole history and the atmosphere here, but as well the track itself. Like, you have to be really precise. You need to have like a good flow, good confidence in the car, and I think it's really cool, like the whole swimming pool section. And what's your favorite part of the track?
I would say that Monaco is actually quite challenging for drivers. You kind of have all kinds of things here, like so slow, fast corners. As you said, you need to be extremely precise. I think also you have like little tricks that you need to know here to go quick. I would say that the part that I enjoy the most is probably, as you said, also the second part of the racing track. And so looking forward actually to experience it on track.
Obviously the start of the season for us has not been the easiest, but I think we really kept working hard, and we still have got the second half of the season in front of us. So what is the race you mostly look forward to, and what are you thinking about our chances for the second half?
During the season, I think that we're getting like more and more competitive, especially like during the races. The one I'm most looking for, it's difficult to say, probably the Jakarta races and Portland. Jakarta, because we ended up having a podium last year there, and Asia is always a place that I like to go to. So let's see what we can do, and hopefully we're going to score good points there. What about you?
Well, to be fair, for me it actually kicks off with this one here. It's my favorite of the year. I think all the locations in FE, they're pretty cool. We get the chance to travel around the world quite a bit. So yeah, main goal is obviously to extract good performances on track, score good points, and let's start doing this here in Monaco.
Yeah, good luck this weekend, and hopefully we can have a good one together.
Thanks, Edo. Same for you.
Thanks very much to Max and Edo for taking the time to sit down with us. But now, Saunders, we've made it to that time of the show where I think for this one you're probably feeling a little bit stressed about because it's your predictions, but I feel like for Monaco it's going to be a tough one.
Monaco is a tough one,
Yeah.
it always is. And I think because we're seeing the first Gen 3 race here, a track which is, a car that was almost designed for tracks like this, I don't really know how it's going to go, but here's my school of thought.
Okay.
And here's what I'm a bit anxious about predicting, because out of the last 3 race winners in Monaco, 2 of them have gone on to win the championship that year.
And
Monaco was quite a pivotal race in their season for both. So I almost feel like I'm not just predicting a race winner here. I feel like there is a chance you might be predicting who's going to go on and win the whole thing. That might be a crazy statement to make. But here's what I'm thinking. Mitch Evans has been on the form of his life in the last few races. Jaguar have got it together. The whole package is working for them. And this is a circuit that he's come so close to winning a number of times, but hasn't just done it. It's sort of fallen at the last hurdle for whatever reason. So could he turn that around and get a win here? Antonio Felix da Costa has won here in the past. He's got a win under his belt this season and a podium, but the last few races has sort of fallen behind. Stoffel Vandoorne has shown great pace this season, but is yet to get on the podium. He won here from P4, I believe, last season. So that's a chance. And finally, if you're Pascal Wehrlein, you need to be on that podium this weekend. There's only a handful of points now between first and second. That huge gap that he had is completely gone thanks to Nick Cassidy. He needs to do well. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 3 names. I could say about 10.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 3 names. I'm going to say Mitch Evans. So even now I'm thinking of others. Mitch Evans, da Costa, Wehrlein. That could be the podium.
Okay, locked in. Those are your predictions.
Yeah, but I think also, I think Andretti needs to be up there as well. I can't do it, it's too hard. I can't predict it this time.
Look, Saunders, I think you did an amazing job. Let us know what your predictions are in the comments down below. And don't forget to join us this weekend for round 9 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. See you there.